Hello all, and welcome to our submission for Computer Science 413. Right here, we have our repo for SpellCraft, and you can see we've been working on it over maybe, I think our first push was definitely more than a month ago. We probably started October, but that's something you'll see when looking into it. I pull up our deployments, we go up to our 35th one, and we see the home screen. I got this wizard music online. There's a bit of a tutorial at the beginning. I'll skip through it a little bit for the sake of time. I'll read out some parts I like, and I'll quickly go through the rest. You stand at the edge of a sprawling forest clearing, the afternoon sun glinting off the spires of the grand castle ahead. SpellCraft, the school of magic rises majestically, walls shimmering faintly as woven with enchantments. Smaller floating buildings drift lazily in the sky around it, tethered by glowing golden chains of light. The air hums with magic, and every step fills you with awe and anticipation. If you remember our game design document, in our game, you're a wizard attending a wizarding school. But then, there's an explosion! A wizard flies out, and you help him up. He thanks you and introduces himself as Professor Eldrin Starsworn, the instructor of all first-year professors, and he tells you what happened. There was an experiment that went awry, and you go back to investigate it. You walk back towards the school, and you enter to the front of the castle. He tells you to go to the auditorium while he goes to look for the other professors, so you do. In the auditorium, everyone's quiet, but waiting for something to happen, and Eldrin pops out of the center. He updates everyone on what happened. I'll read this section out. Students, listen well, Eldrin begins, voice heavy with urgency. Earlier today, an experiment in the arcane laboratory went catastrophically awry. The explosion has caused damage throughout the school, but that is not our only concern. The professors investigating this event left us a note before venturing into the dungeon below. They haven't returned. I fear something is preventing their escape. Something dangerous. Cannot leave them to their fate. I will need volunteers to aid in their rescue. Around, no one says anything, points to the crowd trying to get people to speak up, and, well, you volunteer, because otherwise we wouldn't have a game. Thanks you, and takes you to explain how the game works. He gives you a map which will help you explore the dungeon. In the story, it says it senses monsters, but in the game it'll show room by room by room. And you'll go through it that way. So, this is the main hub. You can speak to Eldrin, and he tells you to follow him into the spell library, and it shows the user to click on the buttons for that scene. Here, he explains a little bit about how cards carry power spells in this world, and he says a little bit about the first 4 spells you're given. Incendious, Call of the Void, World Shaker, Tidal Cataclysm. After that, you pop back out to the hub, and he tells you to follow him to go into the dungeon. Though this portal is unfamiliar, it's the only path to the dungeon and the missing professors. I will teach you how to I will be with you through every step of this journey. I will teach you how to wield the spells and face what lies ahead. There's nothing to fear. We'll face this together. So when you're ready, you can click the dungeon to face it. We made it so you could only click the right button in the tutorial. When it's a more full-fledged game, you can go and design your spells in the spell library. Here you can see the battle format. To cast a spell, you simply click, and it'll damage the enemy, and the enemy will damage you. And your goal is to guide simple game, but bunk, 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 bunk. It is possible to die. I'll show you an example here, but since this is a tutorial, we just have it pop you back out where you were to try again. Pow, 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 pow. And that is our game. We put a lot into the story and the design and the art, and yeah, thank you.